Where are we in the process of renegotiating NAFTA, and who's responsible? Is it you or is it your colleague Bob Lighthizer?
Well, as to where we are right now awaiting the maturation of the 90-day letter that we're required under the Trade Promotion Act to send to the Congress. That clock ticks on the 18th of August. 30 days before that, we will be revealing to the Congress a more detailed negotiating strategy than we had discussed with them before. So the 18th of August is a big red letter day for trade. But even short of that, we have a big day. Very soon, in the middle of July, is our next announcement period and next meeting session with the Chinese. As you know, we've accomplished quite a little bit ever since the détente at the Mar-a-Lago conference. And we're hoping to achieve still more deliverable items in the very, very near future.
Okay, we want to welcome again our listeners on Bloomberg Radio as well as Bloomberg TV. We're talking with Wilbur Ross, the U.S. Commerce Secretary. So before we get to China, let's go back just for a moment to NAFTA. So you're saying mid-July, there's supposed to be a more detailed outline of the negotiating strategy to commerce. Then August 18, you really start the negotiations. Give us a sense after that, what is your hope on the timetable when you might have something concluded with the Mexican government and the Canadian?
Well, both governments are quite receptive to the idea of a renegotiation. They both know that this is, at best, an outdated agreement. It doesn't really address the digital economy. It doesn't very much address services in general. Certainly doesn't do much on financial services. Also doesn't do very much on natural resources. So those are some big gaping holes in it, in part because the Mexicans have changed their regulations for the better on natural resources, and in part because nobody way back when NAFTA was negotiated even knew there would be the digital economy. So first of all, it needs updating. Second of all, it needs some reprovisioning to adjust to the economic realities of today. For example, there are rules of origin, namely what percentage of the total content of a product will qualify as true NAFTA product, even though it came from outside NAFTA. In automotive, they specified particular parts to which the percentage is applied. Well, half those parts aren't even used in cars anymore because automotive technology has progressed. So there are many things like that that need to be fixed. And I think everybody is up to the idea of fixing them.
Is currency manipulation on the agenda in the negotiations with Canada and Mexico?
Well, neither Canada nor Mexico, in my view, is a currency manipulator. As you're aware, the Congress has specified that determining whether currency is manipulated is the purview of Treasury, and Congress has laid out very, very specific tests to apply. Those tests are applied twice a year, generally in April and October, and very recently Treasury Secretary Mnuchin released the results of this year and found that there are no currency manipulations. That's quite different from the question, are there misalignments? I think the Mexican peso, for example, has been very weak against the dollar, partly out of concern that the trade negotiations might go very badly. It lately has rallied some, and my best guess is that once we have a new NAFTA, there's a pretty good chance that both the Canadian and the Mexican currencies will strengthen because of removing that uncertainty from their picture.